Every narcissist does this at the end of a relationship. Yes, this is something that every narcissist will do, and they will do it at the end of every relationship. This can also help you to identify whether or not you are dealing with a narcissist. But does it really matter? Because you got to think, maybe you were just dealing with a toxic person and that is bad enough. Someone who was intending to harm you. And you will know if someone was intended to harm you by how you feel at the end of the relationship. I've said before, the narcissist leaves the relationship with a lot more than they came in with. The victim or target leaves the relationship with a lot less than what they came in with. And typically the victim or target comes into the relationship with a lot more than what the narcissist has to give. And this can be in every aspect of their character and of their lives. It may even include money. And you will find that this is always the same thing. It's always the same. And it makes it so easy for you to identify what you are dealing with. Because by the end of it, all you've got to do is take a look in the mirror and look at how your happiness and health has faded away. There's your evidence right there. How do you feel? You're experiencing a lot of anxiety, stress, maybe even depression. And you've only got to look at your bank account and what it was before you met them or when you first met them. And then take a look at how it is at the end of the relationship. That should tell you everything you need to know. You don't need any closure. You don't need any validation. Just look at the effects that they've had on your life. That should tell you everything that you need to know. But if that still isn't enough, I can tell you that every narcissist will do this at the end of a relationship, and what they will do is they will blame you, the victim or target. They will blame the other person in the relationship. They won't take accountability for anything. And in fact, they will act as though they did everything right. They were just trying to help you. They couldn't do enough for you. And they will act as though nothing you did was good enough. And you could have given them the world. I know many of you did. I've heard from many of my clients and everything that they did for the narcissist. They took them into their home. They gave them food every day, maybe even cooked their own meals for them. They kept the house clean. They washed their clothes, washed the dishes every day. They took care of the children. They took them on trips. They gave them all of their money until they had nothing left. And until they got stuck in a situation where maybe they lost their job, they lost all of their family, their friends. They lost everything in the process of just trying to help this person. They lost it all. And that still wasn't enough. And if you ask the narcissist, what about everything I did for you? They will turn around and say that you did nothing. Or they might just say, okay, you did this, but I didn't enjoy it, so it doesn't count. because they just can't give you credit. If they give you credit, then that gives you the power. You feel as though, okay, I fulfilled my role. Now I get to look at you and what you're doing. What are you doing for me? What have you done after everything I've done? So of course they don't want to give you that, because they already know that they're not about anything. They never intended on bringing anything to you other than an illusion and a false character. That is all that they intended on bringing to you. And despite that, as crazy as it sounds, because I know many of you, I know it's not about how much money you spend so much, although it is as well if you work hard for it and you intended it for it to go to a good purpose. You may have spent thousands, millions. You may have taken them into your home or bought a home for your children. You may have made sure that food was on your daughter's or son's plates every day. And every day you were going to work, you were working hard to make sure that the narcissist and the children had what they needed. Even if you didn't. Even if you didn't get what you wanted in life, you still made sure that they had everything they needed at your expense. And it may have even got to the point where they pushed you past your limits and you were spending more than you could afford. Many of you may have even taken out loans. You may have borrowed money just to try and help them. And yet when they came into the relationship with you, they were acting as though they were going to help you. But what did they ever do for you? All they did was abuse you, manipulate you, deceive you, future fake. They used up everything you had, and then they left you behind like you were nothing. Because by the end of it, you lost it all. The same thing happens every time. It's always the same. It's like you've worked hard all your life on yourself, physical appearance, the way you look, go to the gym every day, take special care of yourself, and you work hard every day, you go to your job, you make money, you put it in your savings account, you make sure you don't spend too much because you're thinking about the future. You're thinking about the children's future as well. And you develop all of these connections, these relationships with other people. It could be business, it could be family, it could be friendships, it could be anything. But you make sure you have that as well, because you understand that a support network is very important. And you want to be there for other people, just as you would want them to be there for you. Which is good, that's how it should be. But the narcissist was not thinking like that. Of course, they were not thinking about the future, or even your children's future. They were just thinking about, how can I get myself into this person's life and drain them of everything they've got in the shortest amount of time possible, without them even knowing until it's too late. That's exactly what they were thinking. And honestly, I Even to this day, I struggle to understand how anyone can even think like that. Because every time that I've got in a relationship with anyone, my mindset is always, I want to leave this person in a better position than they were before I met them. At the very least, if the relationship does end for whatever reason. But if that's not the case, then yes, I would love to build a future with this person, a sustainable future, not where we just throw everything in the trash as soon as possible. Because I understand that certain things should be valued, especially our futures, because the world doesn't just end with us, it keeps going. So we can't just think about ourselves. We can't just constantly think about, what do I want in this moment right now? What about tomorrow? What about next year? What about in 10 years? What's going to happen then? But that's just the way these narcissists are. They're self-absorbed and they lack empathy. They only care about themselves. They don't care about taking care of you or anyone else. If they did, then they would do the right thing. So yes, you are on your own. And by the end of the relationship, you will realize that, because a lot of people in this world are not thinking this way. They honestly don't care about the future. They're not thinking like that. But of course, they understand that it's bad. This is not a good way to live your life. Yes, they understand that. So they will try to cover it up. They will do all of these things to you. And yet somehow they will always find a way to get away with it. They will blame you for everything. And they will try to get everyone else to see you in the same way. Which, believe it or not, it's not difficult for them to do a lot of times, because a lot of people are actually very stupid. So, despite the fact that in the past, before you met them, you may have had a stable job, a stable income, and it could have been so clear the path that you were heading to and what you were trying to achieve, what you were trying to accomplish. And despite that, a lot of people will still side with the narcissist, because many of them are narcissistic as well. And not only that, but a lot of people just don't care. They just only care about themselves and whatever benefits them, whatever makes them look good, whatever gives them the most power. So yes, you are walking a very lonely path. And if you haven't realized that yet, you will realize it when it's all over. When you find yourself on your own, in some situations, with no house, no car, no money, your children have been taken away from you, and your ex-narcissistic wife or husband is now living in your house with another man, another woman, who is around your children. Maybe they're sitting on your couch, they're driving your car, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. You can try and take it to court, you can call the police, you can do whatever you want, but most of these systems are narcissistic as well. So guess who they're going to side with? Not you. Which is why, of course, these channels have so much engagement. Millions of people around the world are watching these videos. They're subscribed to these channels. Because we all recognize that there is a serious problem in society today. And we've had enough of it. We've had enough of the lies, the manipulations. We've had enough of being cheated and robbed. We've had enough of that. We're just desiring something normal, something sustainable, something long-term. That's why we get up every day and we do our best. We work hard every day for a reason, not just for right now, for a future. But the truth is, a lot of people don't even care about that. They're just in it to get what they can get and then get out as quickly as possible before you figure them out. Yes, sadly, that is how a lot of people think these days. And that's why we find these communities, because we realize that we are alone. If we were not alone, if we had support networks, people who cared about us, these communities wouldn't even exist. There would be no purpose for them. What would be the point? If someone came into your life and they cheated you, they robbed you, they destroyed your life, they took your children away from you, they used you for all of your money, they stole from you, they did all of these things. If this was a good world run by good people who actually cared about us, all of these problems would be resolved. But clearly they're not being resolved, because just look at how even just myself, without even mentioning all of the thousands of other channels on this topic, just my channel alone has already achieved over 165,000 subscribers and over 40 million views, which should tell us everything that we need to know. And yes, everyone is going through the exact same thing. You are not alone. You are not alone at all. It's happening to far more people than you think. It really is. A lot of innocent people's lives are being destroyed, and for no good reason. Genuine people who honestly just desire a future with someone. And these are not just people who are just looking for someone to take care of them. No, they're looking to take care of someone and build a future with them. And yet they still get destroyed. But yes, this is what narcissists will do at the end. They all do it. They all blame you. Every narcissist will do this in the end. And that is how you know what you were dealing with. That should wake you up. But yes, fortunately we do have our support network here, and I am able to provide this information to you. And yeah, I mean, this information, it is very helpful. Unfortunately, it may not help you to get back the time that you lost, the money you lost, maybe even the children you lost. May not help you to get that back. Because as I said, the way the courts and the systems are set up, they are set up against good people. And narcissists tend to be the ones who win. But this information should help us to protect ourselves from finding narcissists in the future, to prevent it from happening again. So that's what it's intended to do. And yes, I hope this information is helpful for you. If it is, please give it a thumbs up down below. I know this wasn't the most positive message, but sometimes you just got to keep it real, you got to keep it true. And I understand what you're all going through. I've been through it myself. But yes, thank you all for the support. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, and I will talk to you in another one.